People decide to flush the toilet as soon as I start recording. That's not acceptable, is it now? No. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Now you might be wondering, Molly, it's Sunday, why isn't it a vlog? You're right, vlogs always go out on Sundays. But today's video isn't a vlog because the main vlog this week was the Alfie Days vlog, and this video is a little bit more exciting. And this is my back to school makeup look. This video is a collab with Vintage Cherries and Lydelle, who are Anna and Lydia. Yeah, so this is a collaboration with Vintage Cherries, who is Anna, who I actually know in real life, so probably could have actually done this video with her if she wasn't on holiday in Spain. But, and Lydelle, Lydia, both of their channels will be linked below, and we decided to do an Urban Decay, like, naked eyeshadow look, and I decided to incorporate mine as a back to school look. So I've just done a back to school makeup look but focusing on the eyes. Both of their videos are slightly different. They will be linked in the down bar. Go and subscribe to them. But yeah, basically that is what today's video is. Let's start. Okay, for a back to school look, I've decided that I'm going to choose between either my Rimmel Match Perfection foundation and my Rimmel Wake Me Up foundation, and for this, because this one is slightly more tanned and like darker, I'm going to choose this one because it matches my skin better, but either is up to you. If you're just starting out with foundation, I really recommend this. I feel like this is such a starter foundation, like just the go-to. So I'm going to apply this straight onto my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush and just dab this on my face. I don't want anything too heavy, I'm just going to leave it at this and blend it in with this brush. This foundation, to me, smells like Christmas. There we go. So obviously this is not a full coverage foundation, but it just takes the edge off any blemishes or red marks you might have on your face. For concealer, I'm going to take a mix of two because I feel like concealer lasts longer than foundation, in my opinion, and this is the Collection Lasting Perfection concealer, which I'm nearly running out of, and I'm just going to take this over any spots I have at the moment, and I always have spots, especially when I'm at school because I get stressed and then spots are more prone. I'm just going to blend this in on the same brush. I'm not going to use loads of brushes for this look because if you are just starting school you might not have loads, but I'm just blending this in with this. Go to a school that has a no makeup rule. If you do foundation and concealer properly, you shouldn't be able to tell that you're wearing it, or you should just look a bit more perfect, so they can't tell you off for that. That's always my thinking anyway. I'm always like, nah, I'll just say my skin's good, because my school they do have a makeup rule. They're not particularly tight on it. I wear quite a bit of makeup for school and they haven't told me yet to take it off, so I'm just going to keep pushing it and see how far I can get. Okay, so if you are just starting out in year 7 or 8 and you want to go in for something, maybe you don't wear foundation and concealer, maybe you just wear powder, and I feel like this is the perfect back to school powder. This is Rimmel London Stay Matte, and I have this in the colour 004. But for this look I'm going to use this Rimmel Lasting Finish powder, which is actually a powder foundation. It just adds a little bit more coverage, and I just think this works better on me. This really helps my skin stay like flawless longer. Well, not that it is flawless, but if it was, it would last longer. Okay, and then for contour or bronzer, I'm going to use my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. I have this in the tiny test samples thing, so I am going to get a full one at some point, just haven't got around to saving that money on, you know what I mean. I'm going to take this through the hollows of my cheekbones. As we are going back to school, it's nice to look like you've caught the sun, so I think this is the perfect bronzer for that because it's a really, like, got an orange undertone but not like a fake orange, like a natural sun-kissed kind of orange. I'm taking this on my Real Techniques contour brush. Bronzer and contour. I just think this adds something to my face. I don't really know, I just like it. And here comes the star of the show, appearing early, because I'm going to take the tiniest amount of this Urban Decay blush in the colour, okay, it doesn't have a name, just this blush in the Naked on the Run palette on the contour brush again, so that it still has like the brown undertone, but if you have a proper blusher brush then maybe that's for you. And I'm just going to apply a tiny bit on the apples of my cheek. On the apples of my cheekbone? On the apples of my cheek. Now, I don't know if it picks up on camera, but this is just a tiny amount of blush to make me look naturally flushed, but not like wow. Okay, so then the final thing before the main show starts, if you like, is eyebrows, and I'm just taking my eyebrow pencil. You all should know by now that I'm using the Rimmel 002 Hazel, just Rimmel eyebrow pencil. It's just literally the only one that I found that works as good as it works. So eyebrow time. Eyebrows now look 3,000,000 times better, and I know that they're not going to move all day. Okay, so now moving on to eyeshadow, which is the main point of this entire collab. I'm doing eye makeup look from the Urban Decay palette. The other two girls have actual palettes. I have this, which is the Naked on the Run, which is a palette, but it's not purely for eyeshadow. But it still has a really nice selection of neutral eyeshadows, which are perfect for back to school. Now, obviously, if you are just starting school, not, you know what I mean, like going into high school or whatever it is where you're from, you're not going to want a really heavy eyeshadow look, so I'm going to do quite a neutral nude, but still with a bit of... So, I'm going to take this colour, which is the most like pale nude colour, which is called Fix, and it's this colour here. And I'm going to take this on my base shadow brush by Real Techniques all over both of my eyelids. Oh no, just one eyelid. I'll get a bit nearer to you for this. Obviously you can see that this is a really neutral colour. You can't even really see, probably the camera doesn't pick it up. Oh, a bit of dust just fell over on the camera. But basically this is a nude colour. I trust that Urban Decay will stay on my eyelids because I have quite oily eyelids, but if you feel like it's not going to, you could prime your eyes first, but it depends how much time you have in the morning as to how much time you're going to spend doing this. I know because it happens to me that I can end up going out in a rush and not even wear eyeshadow. So what I'm going to do then is take this colour here, which is in the colour Resist. I can read. I am one of them people with eyeshadow where I'll use like 5,000,000 eyeshadows. This is a look only using 3 or 4. So this is not many for me. Usually I'm there with like 7 eyeshadow palettes and I'm like, This is simple and quick. It's all from one palette. If you are thinking of getting the Urban Decay Naked on the Run, I would really, really recommend it. I'm not like, this isn't sponsored by Urban Decay obviously, but I would just really recommend it. As you can see, that does define it a little bit more, but we're not quite done. For the last stage, and I really like this because there are 3 shimmer shades and 2 matte shades in this palette, and I'm going to take the other matte shade, which is in the colour Dare. They're all written on the back. And I'm going to take this through the crease of my eye, blending it outwards a little bit, and I'm just using a card to make a defined line, and then I'm going to smudge it out. This is still a neutral colour, so I don't think any school would tell you off for this, but if you know you go to a really strict school, then just hold back on the definition. Yeah, I'm just going to blend this through my crease with this card. This is a WH Smith's card, if you're wondering why it was so yellow. It looks like absolutely loads of eyeshadow to you, and it does look ridiculous at the moment, but I usually go all out with eyeshadow. Like, I'm smudging eyeshadow like everywhere usually, so this is really neutral for me, but I'm using this buffing brush to just buff that line down a little bit. Okay, and then finally I'm going to take this colour, which I think is called 50/50, but it could be Sesso, I'm not sure if it's a 5 or a S, and I'm taking this just on my finger. It's a really nice white shimmer shade, and I'm going to take this on my inner corner. And I just think that's really stunning, and it just finishes it off nicely, and it adds a little bit of glitter because what's life without a sprinkle of glitter? Okay, so I'm trying to make this whole like tutorial, no, not a tutorial, this look quite affordable. Aside from the Urban Decay, everything else is drugstore, and I just recently bought this eyeliner, which is by Collection, and it's called Eye Definition Liquid Eyeliner by Collection, and I love it. Collection is such an underrated brand, like, they are so good. I am yet to find a Collection product that is bad. I really like it. This eyeliner lasts all day, and a lot of you probably don't wear eyeliner. I'm just one of them people that always wears eyeliner. Like, if you saw me with that eyeliner on, it would be very odd. So I'm just going to do a really thin winged eyeliner. Like, you probably won't even be able to tell once I put my mascara on, but just to define the lash line a little bit, using the mirror from the Naked on the Run palette. That's just it done. It is really thin, and this eyeliner is super easy to use and control, so if you're thinking of starting to wear eyeliner, I'd really recommend some for a starter one. If you like liquid liner, some people like pencil eyeliner. Personally, I prefer like paint style one that you do with a brush. And then obviously you can use any mascara. I feel like mascara is quite a personal thing, everybody has their own favourite. At the moment my favourite is the Benefit They're Real. I have such a love-hate relationship with this. I love it because it looks amazing. I love it because the packaging is Instagrammable. I hate it because I can't always get it off. But I'm gonna run with that because I'm gonna put it on anyways. Is it for mascara. I've put a tiny bit on my bottom lash line as well, and if you're a fan of under eye eyeliner you could also add that. I don't know how much you'd want to push it with school, however I am going to add a little bit of under eye eyeliner because personally I really like it. So this is from the Naked on the Run palette as well. As you can see, you can use a whole range of products. This honestly is not sponsored by Everyday. I don't know why I'm saying it as if it is, but this is the 24-hour Glide On pencil in the colour Stag. Put a tiny little bit on my waterline because it makes my eyes pop a little bit more. Okay, and then for lips, obviously this is a step that you're probably going to miss out. Nobody wears lipstick to school apart from me probably, and if you do it's never like a red who wears red lipstick to school, not me. So yeah, I always film these videos. When I sit in the living room to film these videos I leave the television on mute and it's so distracting. Anyway, yeah, so for lips I'm going to be using this EOS lip balm because I love the smell. And I'm just going to be putting this all over my lips and then adding a tiny bit of colour. It's nice to keep your lips hydrated and this makes it look glossy as well, but to add a tiny bit of colour I'm going to use my, this is so well loved, look how like flat it is. This is the Colour Rush, Rimmel Colour Rush in the colour Make Me Blush, but all the writing's rubbed off it. And I'm just going to add a tiny bit of this to my lips. Really neutral nude pink, and I think it is really pretty as well, and I usually always wear this for school. Okay, so that is it. This is my neutral back to school makeup look, focusing on the eyes. The eye makeup was the like main pointer of this, and I used the, in case you didn't get it by now, Decay Naked on the Run palette. So yeah, that is everything. You should definitely go and check out the other two girls' videos. Anna's and Lydia's will be linked down below. Both videos will be linked down below. They both have amazing channels. Go and subscribe if you're not. They both deserve way more subscribers than they have. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm very sorry that today's video was not a vlog, but a couple of people had requested this and there was a collab some point in the planning for this to be done. So basically today was the day for that, and also the main vlog of this week was the Alfie Days vlog. If you haven't seen it I'll link that down below also, and I shall see you on Tuesday with a very special video. It isn't a collab, it isn't a makeup look, it's not a favourite, it's something I've never done before and I'm so excited. Try and guess what it is in the comments. I don't think any of you will manage it. It's such a surprise. Oh, mysteries. Bye, see you soon. It is running wild again, my dear, we still have everything. And it's all in your eyes, yeah, well, this is how it is. Yeah, that's basically everything. That's pretty much it.